So obviously it's safe to say that you are very busy.
Yes, I'm extremely busy.
Extremely busy. And another reason why I want to say thank you again for coming here. But how do you find a balance with everything that you do?
Well, I'm a firm believer in self-care and in self-love and investing in yourself. But one of the biggest things that I have that helps me is a calendar. I have a calendar on my phone, a calendar on my wall in every room in the house, and I just basically write everything out. And I try, and that's what I do. I write everything out on a calendar, and I try not to overbook things.
Yeah.
And just try to do, if it's one thing a day, just do that. Whether it's a meeting, whether it's a client, whether it's time with my mom, whether it's anything.
Right.
You know, I do it that way. And if you see it, then you can plan for it,
Right.
and you're not overwhelmed, and everything works itself out.
Okay. So I was going to ask you about self-care, because self-care is super important.
Yes.
And what is your self-care routine? What are some things that you do for yourself?
Well, so for myself, what I do is, so every other week, I take either a Friday, a Saturday, or a Sunday. I pick one day, and I just do something for me. So I put it on the calendar every week, every other week, and no matter what. And I just, whether I'm going out to dinner with a girlfriend, whether I'm maybe just getting my favorite meal and binge watching my DVR, because I obviously can't watch any live television.
Right.
Everything is DVR.
Right.
So I just do something, but I just take that one day, one day of the weekend, or one of those days, and I just make it me time. And I don't care if there's an event going on or something. Right. Nope. If it's on the day that I have my personal time,
right.
then no. You have to. If not, you have to have that time for yourself. A little bit of time.
I need to take that advice.
Yes.
Really just start blocking the time.
Yes, it literally works. It works, and it's an amazing feeling.
Yeah.
Just to have that time, do something that makes you happy, that promotes your peace, and it makes you just feel good. It's needed.
And it's leading to my next question. Do you ever stop to reset? Not just to take care of yourself, but reset as far as gaining a new thought process of what you want to do next with your businesses. Do you ever do that?
I do. So basically what I do is ideas are always popping in my mind. So for me, this isn't the end. This is just the beginning, and ultimately my goal is to build an empire. I feel like I want to just be as great as Oprah. I want to be as great as Puff Daddy.
Exactly.
So they have their empires, and I want mine.
Yeah.
And so these are some of the businesses that's going to be under that empire. And there are other ideas that I have. And so I keep notebooks. I have a notebook every year. Every September, I buy me a new notebook. A cute one too, a nice girly one where it has sparkles, it has different sayings, and I buy the notebook and I just jot down my ideas.
Okay.
And I carry it with me. I have my work bag, I carry it with me. If I'm going somewhere, I'll take that notebook. It's not real big and bulky, it's just something cute.
Right.
Just something, and I write all of the ideas that come to my mind down.
Okay.
And as each business starts to grow and gets to a point where I can kind of step back, I can put people in place to run it. Then I move on to the next project, and that's what I do.
That's great. So what is your next project, you think?
Well, right now my daughters. So my daughters, I gifted them a business. They have a T-shirt business.
Nice.
Yeah, and so I'm basically training them on how to have business meetings now. So they have a little clientele. They make their shirts, and they're loving it. But now they're like, well, mommy, we're stuck. We don't know what to do next. So now I'm showing them the next steps. So I want them to be stronger. I want them to be little business women, so that they can know that they have options.
Right.
If they choose to go a different route other than college, and so
exactly
that's the project that I have going on with them.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I'm taking mental notes of some of these things that you're saying. I think they're great. Okay, so you're a mom. What advice do you have to moms that want to be more than just a mom? Like, we are more than just somebody's mom, more than just somebody's wife. What advice do you have for those women out there?
Well, just like Beyonce says, she's a whole mood. We're mothers, moms, we're whole people, we're whole women. And so with that, believe in yourself, trust yourself. You have a vision, you have something that you want to try, do it. Don't. And sometimes you can't tell everybody everything. So a lot of times people often get upset with me because I don't tell them everything that I have going on. Because sometimes you have to do it.
Yeah.
Because people sometimes will just make you just kind of unencourage you, make you feel like, okay, no, don't do that. You're wasting your time. Nope.
Yep.
You just do it. Just go on and just do it, and before you know it, you have something.
I agree with that mentality. When the idea of P.E.P came to mind, you know, I basically just consulted with my husband about it, and he was like, it's a good idea, and I just kind of had a notebook, and people's names just started coming to my mind, along with a name of the episode based on what they're doing and what they have accomplished. And I just was like, let me just keep writing, and then the list ended up being about 30 people.
Wow.
Way more than I expected. And it's funny because some of the episodes are going to be 2 parts because some may be longer than the other. And I have 30 people in mind, and as I'm doing it and more people are contacting me about it and encouraging me, I'm like, well, that person would be good as well for another thing. So it's like, I'm just doing it. I'm not normally, I'm not in front of the camera. Normally when I interview people, it's for a job. So this is a different dynamic for me, but I took that advice and I'm just doing it. And you have to put yourself out there and then see where it's going to end up. You can't be afraid to fail.
You cannot be afraid to fail.
That's like a big thing. You just can't.
Absolutely.
So what about your advice for women or men that want to do multiple things and don't know how to juggle working on several different projects? What advice can you give them?
Well, so again, going back to the notebook, you write your ideas down, and of those ideas, I would say start with the one that's most feasible. And and that's the one that you go with. That's the one that you start with first, because some projects are more easy than others. Like my cleaning company, that's a no-brainer right there. It's a cleaning company,
right?
And it doesn't take a whole lot. So once that was up and running and in a good place, I was able to focus on the next thing. And so now this project, Ladies League, is a lot more intense because there's so many areas, and I've been have people reach out to me to expand into other areas, which I'll eventually talk about. But so it's just doors are opening, and because this is something that's needed.
It is.
And I want to help. And I've always been a helper, and that's how this got started, just by having friends calling me up and, hey, can you help me with the resume? Can you help me with this? I have to go here. Okay, so you know what? My doctor told me that I have this diagnosis, and I need some ideas on what I could do to eat better, or this, whatever the case. I was always there, and I loved it, and I love helping and being a resource for someone. And so this just turned into a business. And I said, it's more than just those few women that are going through this. I would go to a doctor's appointment to meet women from other cultures that just were like, oh my gosh, and we start a whole conversation, and at that point I wasn't really totally ready yet. So then it was like, oh my goodness, and I didn't have the cards ordered or whatever the case, and so now now I'm ready, and the business is coming, and I'm helping, and women are getting help, and that's the most biggest thing. As a woman, as a mom, we have to be here for one another.
We do.
We have to, because when we're, as an educator, the mothers are the heads of the households. They're the only person in the household. And some of them don't know. And they need to have someone that knows. And LeBron James did that with his school. And, he has the I Promise school. And he's investing in the parents, the moms. And that's something that I wanted to do before. And I don't have a platform as big as he does. But that was a vision of mine. And that's what I'm doing this way. So maybe down the road, I can bridge it all together. But that's
we
the
need
same.
more than one of those.
Absolutely. And so that's basically where I see this going, and going even further than that. So
I was going to ask you, what legacy do you want to leave on this earth? Like, what is the general consensus of your legacy?
I just want women. I just want people women, people, just to know that you can do anything that you put your mind to. Don't let nothing hold you back. If you have breath in your body, you can do anything. The opportunities out here, it's what you make of it. So no one should be sitting and acting as if they can't do anything. You can. There are people. There's someone. And if you're not sure, there's the internet, the technology. So there are ways. There's no excuses. None. And so I just want people to know that if I can do it, you can do it. You know, there's no secret formula other than to put in the work.
There you go.
And that's pretty much what it is.
Like I said, I took a lot of mental notes, and I will be watching this episode a few times to remind myself of what I need to do differently.
Yes.
Because you really shared some great tips and kept it real about everything, your journey, and encouraging everybody else. So I thank you again for that.
Thank you.
That being said, share your platforms of how people can find out more about your businesses and what you want them to know.
Okay, so Ladies League of Excellence, you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram, or you can visit our website, ladiesleagueofexcellence.com. And Sluice Pro, you can also visit us on Facebook and Instagram, and visit our website at sluicepro.com.
Again, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Peers, I really hope that you were able to take some mental notes as well from this episode, and just really just be encouraged to start your own thing and just do it. Who cares about what anybody thinks? And don't share everything that you're doing. Just let it be a big surprise, like, hello, here's Pep. I'm here. So again, thank you again, and make sure you subscribe if you haven't already done so. Thank you.